Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Critical Reactions with your host, Bryan. We're going to wrap up this week checking out one last new music track, this one being Hellbirds from Rivers of Nihil. It comes off of their latest album, which probably should have looked this up earlier, but I don't see if it's out yet. They wrapped up recording back in March, though, according to the description, so I'd wager it's out. I don't know. Let's just dive into it. See what Rivers of Nihil is. See what they're bringing to the table today. Am I thinking of the wrong bands? This is the same group that did Where Owls Speak My Name? Very clean production on the drums, though. It's wild how they can just switch between these two sides. The more melodically driven and then the riff driven stuff, aggressive. Huh. I wonder if this is just for the video or if this is also in the original track. All right. I think I got surprised like this last time too. Either the album that where Owls Speak Your Name comes off of, Speak My Name, or Owls Know My Name. That's it. Either that album is very different than everything else, or that song is an anomaly within their library. Because every single time I listen to a Rivers of Nihil track, I expect owls and I don't get anything like it. And it always takes me a moment to shift gears and get my brain paying attention to the things it should be paying attention to for this type of music and not that. So it did take me a second to begin appreciating this for what it was instead of comparing it to what it isn't. I guess it's okay. This is probably really good if you're into it. I'm trying not to let my experience with this overshadow what it is. But I was very disappointed by the end of the trek, especially given that I really loved a section of it. I would have liked a little more in that direction, and we didn't really go, and that was the more melodic part. It's just it's a solid death metal track, isn't it? Production is great. The riffs are brutal and meaty, and it's got a monotonous, harsh vocal on it, just picking a pitch and constant all the time. It just becomes a background texture. Some people like that. You know, I've expressed my bias against that in the past. Not something I typically enjoy. Let's get into this though. Away from the subjective. First of all, the production on this is slick. It was the first thing I noticed once I began to shift gears on this track and realizing what it was doing. The drum production is crisp. You can hear every single hit from all of the different parts of the drum kit, and it is clear, it is punchy, it is just my kind of production. Even when you look at the guitars and the vocals, while there is quite a bit of crunchiness to all of it, a nice layer of compression on all of it, and extra compression put in specific sections to add that extra bit of bite and flattening out of the sounds, it's still clear enough for me to hear everything that's going on. And there generally is a lot of things going on in here as well. The production is done in a way that facilitates the composition, which is death metal, leaning a little bit towards the techie side, um, especially once we get to the guitar solo. Some of the riffs in here are a bit more busy. The drum work is all over the place, and the vocals are very front and center, but constant also. Balancing all of the noise of it all the guitar notes, all the bass notes, all the drum notes, all the growling, is no easy task. And the composition did not allow the engineer to have a light days of work doing this. The guitars are heavy and meaty. Lots of punch, lots of bite, and typically a nice range of riffs, sometimes a bit more driving and energetic, other times heavy and weighty, really bouncing back and forth between these two main modes of music. The drums aid in this, shifting between more flurious drum lines with more movement, sometimes looking at 16th note ideas, snare rolls, double bass kicks, and other times going for more of a sparse writing to emphasize weight of individual beats rather than a flurry and onslaught of sound. The bass guitar follows in line often with what the guitar is doing. When the guitar moves faster, the bass tends to emphasize key notes rather than all of them, but helps build some of that punch and meatiness that helps the sound feel as weighty and impactful as it is. And then we have the vocals. As I mentioned, they are just present always, all the time. We have a lot of them going on, and they are very textural and rhythmic, providing a lot of, again, impact and punch to the overall feeling of the song. There is one moment of the track when we divert from this a little bit, and the guitarist takes over vocals. We get some clean vocals in here, some really strong melodic writing, aiming for more of a harmonic type of guitar layering underneath rather than a purely textural and atmospheric one. And I really enjoyed this moment. We had a little bit of harmony there with the guitar playing alongside the vocals. I wish we would have had a bit more of this. It also reminds me more of Where Owls Know My Name, and now that I'm thinking about it, the guitarist was the main vocalist on that track, wasn't he? Um, that was one of the first things I noticed was when the main dude started screaming. I was like, that doesn't look like the dude I have in my head. Now, granted, they were wearing some real fun costumes in the Where Owls Know My Name music video, but did not look like the right guy regardless. And I think it is the what instrument was he playing? It was either the guitarist or the bassist who took that section up. Oh, we actually had a full-on harmony there too. I forgot about that, but the drummer gets on the microphone and harmonizes with the other vocalist. That was really awesome. Yeah, it is another guitarist there. Either that or this dude's got a crazy eight string, really, well, it can't be thin strings and bassy. So yeah, it's another guitarist. I think I like those moments better. I like when the band takes moments to breathe and include melody and harmony to their writing, and I think that's why Owl speaks to me, especially with the saxophone solo in it. This is fairly straightforward death metal, maybe even deathcore at places, though I think it doesn't quite go enough into the core to technically be qualified for that, but those who are more knowledgeable about genre, please let me know. Uh, and it's a bit too aggressive for me personally. I would have liked more of a division between the two sides rather than the melodic side being a quick diversion during the bridge. The guitar solo was nice though, a bit too showy offy for me, a bit too noodly, but still a great display of skill. I can't discredit that at all, nor would I want to. And it furthers this divide I have between the rivers that I want to listen to and the rivers I keep getting sent. And I'm curious. I think there's already been answers to this. I could probably go back through my comments and check it out because I probably asked this last time we checked out a Rivers track. I liked Owls. Where would I go in their discography to find more like that? Is it a one off? Or do they have a whole album like that? Or is it like they do one of those kinds of tracks every album and I kind of have to like pick and choose and make a playlist of the tracks like that? Um, but it seems to me like that's the outlier in my limited experience with them, and that this heavier stuff is more their status quo. And I know I've kind of been a bit harsh on them, unfortunately. I just I think what they're doing is excellent. The production is solid, the writing is solid, their performance is solid. It all comes together really well. It's a very clean, crisp production with some heavy, meaty writing, some solid headbanger moments in here. It just isn't my cup of tea. And they have done something that I really enjoyed, which kind of makes it a little bit disheartening whenever I hear more stuff like this. Not it has nothing to do with them. It's totally, a subjective element. But I'm always like, "Ooh, Rivers, I like them." And then I check out their song. I'm like, "Oh, that's right. I like one song of theirs." And that's always a harsh reminder. I'm gonna hit some lyrics and see what's going on there. The lyrics appear to be about disillusionment with life. Our opening stanza, I don't know why everybody cares. I can't seem to feel the same way. My life is just slipped discs and cartilage worn to bone. But don't worry, I got chemicals to ease the pain. The idea that, he doesn't quite see eye to eye with the way that people are today. Everything in his life is just kind of all the pain and suffering over the years creating so much current pain. The slipped discs and the cartilage worn to bone, the passing of age, both the wearing down of the body physically and mentally. It says, but don't worry, I've got chemicals to ease the pain. Basically, I can take pills for this. Don't worry about me. He then brings religion into the question. He says pastors, bishops, and priests. He says that they rape kids. He only messes with the devil, man, because he goes crazy. Um, I think that's an interesting line right there. What was another interest? Oh, yeah. He says, I have nothing to die for, so I just want to get higher on the wings of a bird. Tell your God who he prays to. Cheap tricks and mysterious ways, the secret's way out. This can't be what it means, so tell me what it means. Um, con- uh, uh, Continuing to lean into the religious angle, saying, y'all don't have the answers any more than I do. You keep talking about these tricks and God acts in mysterious ways, and I'm not buying into it. The secret's out, you know. Y'all have been played the fool. I'm not gonna do that. At one point, he says, "I've been so obsessed with hating. Maybe you are too." Overall, I mean, this is most of the stanzas we've gone through already. Overall, it seems to be about somebody who's just so disillusioned with life. Nothing's quite how it seems that it should be. He can't quite connect with other people in their relationship to life. He doesn't quite get the concept of death either. Um, he still wants to survive. He just wants it to be better than this, where it's at now, and he doesn't find himself reflected in other people's values. So he ends up just kind of hating a lot of stuff. This sort of anger and animosity is reflected very clearly in the vocal delivery and the weightiness and heaviness of the song itself. And I guess that's going to be my read on it. Not not something I really enjoyed lyrically either. Kind of makes me want to check out the lyrics to Owls and see what's going on there. I don't think we were doing lyric dives when we checked that out. I just remember enjoying it for the music. But this was a bit more nihilistic than I think I was expecting, though they are Rivers of Nihil. So, I don't know, maybe this is the type of music they like writing. Something for me to learn about and dig into in the future. Those are my thoughts on River of Nile's Hellbirds. Let me know your thoughts, opinions, and perspectives on this. If you have a totally different take than mine, or if you think I'm wrong in any way, please let me know in the comments section. Above the comments in the description box, you'll find a link to Linktree. It takes you to this menu right here. You can find links to my music, ways to support the channel, a link to the Discord server, and so much more. Above that, if you could, like, subscribe, and ring the bell. I greatly appreciate all three of those. That wraps it up for today. I'll be back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. UTC as usual. We're going to be checking out a full album, this one being a classical album, so I'm pretty stoked for that. Until next time, remember to be critical, not cynical, of the music you listen to, and have a fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening whenever you choose to watch my videos.